Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Grumpy Dads. Before we carry on, hop on, hit subscribe, hit like, and please chuck anything in the comments you can. We want to hear from you. I'm going to say hello to Chris, as always.
Hello, mate. And this week we have got the amazing Laura McConnell. Am I saying that right? Laura McConnell.
Laura McConnell, yeah.
Laura McConnell.
I like the amazing though.
Yeah.
Don't watch the other episodes because I do use amazing a lot. Okay. Before we kick off, I wanted to make the channel a little bit more interactive. The first person that I do want to give a shout out to who texted me today out of the blue is my sister, who said she watches it, even though I didn't tell her. And she said that we're doing a great job and everything else. So anybody who watches it and puts comments below, we will give a shout out on the next episode.
We will.
As always, let's kick off with Icebreaker Antics. I scour the net looking for products with 1-star reviews. You've got to guess the product based on those reviews. If you guess it on the first guess, you get 3 stars. On the second guess is 2 stars. And on the last guess is 1 star.
You get one guess per clue, and I'm here to help you. So if, between us, we can come up with something, that's great. But if I guess it and you don't, you still get the points.
Okay, that's it. That is a very fair deal.
First product, first review. Very strange wobble as I walk and very squeaky.
Sounds like me after a curry.
Leggings.
Leggings. You don't mean yoga pants?
Well, I know that there's been the great yoga pant debate, but
Yoga pants?
Yoga pants. Well done.
Oh, they're leggings!
No, they are not.
we'll go leggings because they are a bit thinner than traditional yoga pants.
Are they different though?
Yoga pants are thicker leggings. They're within the same family group, I'd say.
Okay.
I'm
not gonna delve into it again.
I did vote leggings in the Twitter poll because they are leggings, but they're just a thicker leggings.
No, that's not the right answer. I don't mean the leggings thing, which is also incorrect, but not correct on this one either.
It's just a wobble when they walk. That's what
I'm going to go for some kind of boot.
No, it's not. Good guess, though. Second review. Do not buy. The extendable handle came off in my hand.
Duster.
No, that's not.
A feather duster.
Still not right. Oh, although they do. You've got the extendable ones, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't know why a feather duster would squeak or wobble when you walk.
It could be a really heavy one.
Yeah.
Like a massive one. Huge thing.
I'm going to go with a walking stick.
It's a good guess again, but it's incorrect. I'm glad I read it the way I did and not the way I wrote it down, because I put do not but. I don't know why I did that.
One track mind.
It could be.
I'll ever show you the story.
Go on then.
It's a bloke, he goes to he's talking to his mate and he said, I've got this real problem. I keep saying just what pops into my head without filtering it. I don't think about it. It just pops out. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, well, I was at the fish and chip shop the other day and the woman behind the counter was just gorgeous with these huge. And I had to say to her, I wanted to ask for a bag of chips and instead I asked for a bag of tits. And he said, it was just so awkward. The mate goes, oh, don't worry, mate. I do that all the time. Just last night, I meant to say to the wife, could you pass the salt? Instead I said, you're a fucking bitch and you ruin my life.
Third review. Looks big, but they deceive you with a strange lining that's not needed.
Wobbles, squeaks, extendable handle, strange lining. A pram.
Sure. That's another good guess. It's in the realms, but it's not right.
A wheelchair.
Oh, another good guess. Something you travel with.
Oh, luggage. A suitcase.
Yeah, like
Suitcase. 1 star. Well
I'm
done.
just imagining a suitcase making you wobble through the airport.
Yeah, I was trying to work that out, but I don't know whether they had it packed or they had too much heavy stuff in it and the wheels were uneven or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Second product, first review. Really badly shaped. I've tried so many ways to get them to fit, but nothing works.
Badly shaped, getting them to fit shoes.
No, there's another good guess.
We're straying dangerously close to condom territory again, aren't we?
I know, that's the thing.
Yeah. But you know me, I never put dirty stuff like that out. It might sound it, but it's not.
It just sounds an awfully lot like it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm going to go for some trainers.
That's very much like shoes, but no, not right. Second review, bizarre. They feel tight, but they still fall out. Such a child.
This is why I don't go jogging. You realise that?
Earphones.
Spot on. 2 stars.
well
That's hang on. Tinny sound, cheap wire, and don't connect half the time. So yeah, you probably would have got it with that. Last product, first review. I bought these and found 4 of them to be fake and dates written on them in pen.
Breast implants.
Breast implants. I don't know if you can buy those online and get them sent through. I wonder if there's a DIY. There's a DIY breast implant product.
Oh, no, the date's been written on in pen.
No, it's not breast implants. And yeah, there's bound to be. I found 4 of them to be fake, so there's more than 4. Maybe it's made for dogs or cats or something. I don't know.
Woman from Total Recall with the 3, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm thinking maybe it's like sort of autographed memorabilia.
No, it's not. Found 4 of them to be fake, so there's more than 4. So it's got to be some sort of pack or something. That's just a off clue. These are rubbish. Takes 10 attempts to roll down.
Eggs.
No. I can't believe someone's... Who's sending out fake eggs? I mean, there's some real con artists out there, isn't there?
Were these reviews from fertility clinic by any chance?
Uncle, what's your guess for this one?
Tights.
No, it's not. Last review. Great if you want children.
My last 2 answers stand.
Hey, condom.
Yes, it is. Durex Fine Condoms. Well done. I'm so glad I threw you off when you did it with the earphones. Purposely did that. Well done. You got 4 stars.
Excellent.
That's firmly in last place to a table that doesn't exist. Thanks for joining us on the show, Laura. I am going to further this sort of icebreaker by introducing something called crazy questions. Now, this is completely out the blue. The first question, and this is to both of you, what would a world populated by clones of you be like?
Freaking awesome.
Very organised and efficient.
No fighting?
Oh no, there'd be a lot of that, but very organised and efficient, logical.
What would a Saturday night be like?
I have no recollection of that event. I'm from Scotland. I'm from Glasgow. Let's just leave it at that.
It's taken out of everybody's diary. Saturday night's gone. It doesn't exist.
It would be hell. I don't know. I say freaking awesome, but in all seriousness, I once had some friends who they met this guy and he's like, and they described him as the redneck Duncan. And I'm like, well, he's just like you, but he's a redneck. And I'm like, well, you said you'll love him, but you can never meet him because you two will be terrible together, and you'll be, and it was a few weeks later, and just randomly he happened to turn up at a thing some other people were at. And I couldn't stand him because he was just so similar to me. It was actually annoying. I couldn't
Really?
Out of his company. I wanted to punch him in the face. I think a world full of me would be a very violent place and pretty much wind up with, it's like Highlander, there can be only one.
There can be only one.
And put yourself back down. Everyone's going to be beheaded until only one survivor remains. It would just be awful.
Second crazy question. What animal, if scaled down to the size of a gerbil, would be the cutest?
A zebra.
Oh, I like that. How big's a gerbil? Is it like the size of your hand?
Yeah, it's like a little mouse.
What about a hippo?
Oh!
No, what a hippo would be.
A tiny, it would be gorgeous. Yeah, a hippo, a gerbil-sized hippo.
Or an elephant. Imagine a little elephant running
A
around.
little elephant.
Oh.
I'm going to go for a smoking polar bear.
Oh, polar bear would be a good one.
Yeah.
Specifically smoking, though. I just think it'd be cool. He's there, this little...
Why does he have to be smoking?
He just offered the melting polar ice caps. And he just wants a break.
Cigar or cigarettes?
Ah.
Cigar.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Big stogie.
Said the cutest, not the
A,
coolest.
a Cuban cigar with like a Shea hat on.
Yes, yeah, the glasses. The Oaken Foxton, the Blues Brothers style. Just
Last crazy question. Do you own anything that will never go out of fashion?
Animal print clothing. And lots of it.
I'm not into women's fashion for obvious reasons, but
Yeah.
Some people might argue that I'm not either, but that's their
I've seen the pictures.
did you say animal print?
yeah.
Does that fall into the realms of like, because I'm assuming like leather jacket will is kind of
Yeah, well, that's not necessarily animal print, but yeah, let's just take it and let's just pretend that that's what I said. I'm claiming that.
See, with animal print though, you've got the Carol Baskin. She's doing her best to make that really unfashionable, isn't she?
Yeah, oh, she tried, but it's just no. Joe Exotic. I'm hoping that they have a second series during this new lockdown because that's what got me through the last one.
We need something like it, don't we?
If anyone, to be fair, anyone who's ever been to either Oklahoma or a state that borders Oklahoma knows that that's what it's like. So no one who has ever been to Oklahoma was surprised by that show at all.
You know what would be a fantastic show to replace it?
What?
Just for the next couple of weeks. Someone sticks some real-time cameras in the White House Oval Office. I just want to see what's going on in there and what insanity is taking place as they have the meetings to decide what they're going to object to next and try and save this from Biden taking over. See, clinging onto the door frames as they're trying to drag him out, all that kind of stuff. That would be fantastic television.
I think that they are definitely missing a trick if they don't release the security camera video.
You need to pay per view.
Like
I would genuinely pay 25 quid to watch him getting dragged out. I would. I'd love it. It would
surely
make
Netflix
millions.
have called.
I'd pay at least £2 more than that to be able to do it.
I'd enter a bidding war. I would to pay to see that. But going back to Tiger King, have you guys ever seen? I think it's called Fire Island.
No.
The biggest party that never happened.
Yes. It was on in the background. One of my ex-boyfriends watched it, and it was on in the background while I was working one day. I was writing, so I looked up every now and again and kind of thought, what? And then so I'm aware of it, but I didn't watch the details.
It's fantastic. Oh, it is just incredible. The PR that went into. I don't want to give it away for you, but they basically.
I know the story behind it.
Oh right, okay then. Yeah, but the way they filmed it and everything. But those guys worked on Fire Island, worked on Tiger King. So you've got the same sort of style, but it's fantastic. The Grumpy Dads Pod put out a poll on Twitter, and I think, Laura, you took part. 50% of the Grumpy Dads presenting team didn't see it. So we're a well-oiled machine here. So.
You're fired.
It was about getting your 5 fruit and veg a day and who's managing it. So you managing to hit your 5 and over, or are you getting between sort of 4 and 1? I have come up, because they put out the poll, of the 5 highest sugar content drinks, and you two have got to guess which drinks are in that list.
Red Bull.
Red Bull is on the list, yeah.
In there.
Monster.
They only it was kind of like energy drinks that they put in, so yeah.
Okay.
Fruit juice.
Fruit juice is not in there.
Okay.
There is I don't know what it's called, but I know that Starbucks were doing like a milkshakey type thing that had an unbelievably high sugar content. It was something like 30 teaspoons of sugar into this one drink. I don't know what it was called, but it was like one of their frappe type things.
Yeah.
Isn't it called diabetes?
It is called diabetes.
These ones, though, are just soft
I believe
drinks.
they sold it with a free insulin shot.
They put mattresses outside from when you crash.
It's just all these people wandering around in a daze afterwards.
These are strictly soft drinks, these ones.
Okay.
The pre-sugar tax Coca-Cola.
Yes. that's on the list.
Well, they haven't changed that either. It's still the same.
Yeah,
But-
we were all really annoyed because Iron Brew changed their recipe and didn't allow us the pleasure of old Iron Brew and paying a little bit extra sugar tax for it. So we were all quite upset about that. It's just not the same.
When was the last time you saw Iron Brew, Duncan? Do you still get Iron Brew where you are?
I haven't seen it for a while, actually. Now you said that, no.
Probably
Yeah.
because it's less popular, maybe due to them changing the recipe. I drink it every day. So like,
You have got that orange glow to you.
yeah,
A
exactly.
bit Trumpy. It's a bit like Donald Trump going on. It's the Iron Brew.
Episode of Spot the Scott.
Yeah, we don't need fake tan here. We just like glow orange. Yeah, we were really annoyed because and like old recipe Iron Brew became like gold dust. People were like finding bottles of old recipe stuff and like posting it on Facebook and selling it for like lots of money.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
I'm going to add in to my guesses full sugar Vimto.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, there's no score in this, but I will give you the rest of the answers because it will probably drag on because they're a bit obscure, these ones. We got ginger beer overall, which was right. I think, in fact, ginger beer was near the top of the list. Cloudy lemonade, which is a very, very high sugar content. And finally, Fanta grape, which is along the lines.
I wouldn't have got that.
You just get wine, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why do you need grape?
I swear, it brewed straight from Satan's urinal. I tried that stuff and it was just feral. I couldn't.
We're on to cereals, which is, I mean, I eat breakfast every day. I have a bowl of cereal. I don't know about you guys, but I've got the top 5 cereals. Well known. I will give you a clue. It's Nestle or Kellogg's. They stock their cereals up with sugar. What do you think is on the list? Top 5.
Special K.
Special K, really?
Yeah, and that's only based on, you know, how the whole Special K challenge, like the drop a gene size thing that they put on, like, you know, the adverts.
Yeah.
I heard that Special K had more sugar and calories in it than just a normal bowl of cornflakes, and you actually would have been more successful doing the drop a gene size challenge if you just had a bowl of cornflakes instead.
That's crazy. It's not on the list, but that's wow.
I thought I'd just go for an out of the box one, but clearly not.
No, it followed up with an interesting
I like
fact
the
though.
thinking, though. That's
Yeah.
the kind of crazy, random fact that would actually fit, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'll have to go with Frosties.
Frosties is right at the top of the list.
Cocoa Pops.
Cocoa Pops is second.
Curiously cinnamon.
It's not. It's not on the list.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms is not on the list. Is that made by Nestle? It's not
I
made
thought
by
it was made
Kellogg.
by I thought it was Nestle.
I thought it was an American company because it costs like $5 a box now because they have to import it.
Yeah, I knew it was mostly sold in America, but I thought it was Nestle that did it, but no, maybe not.
I miss Lucky Charms. I used to love them. Anyway, yeah, what's the next guess? There is one big one that you're missing out if you think about it.
Crunchy nut cornflakes.
Bang. There we go. Crunchy nut. 2 more. There's one surprising one, actually.
Rice Krispies?
No.
Cheerios.
Cheerios is the
Cheerios.
surprise one. Yeah.
They've
And
got
there's
honey
one
in them.
there's one less known one. Chocolate.
Like the chocolate Weetabix. No, because that's not the...
I don't know who that's made by. It's actually the chocolate parcel, and they're called Crave.
Oh, Crave.
Oh, I've seen them advertised.
Yeah.
I could have written that list myself purely based on what my kids want.
I am bummed out that Frosties was on that list because I always mix up my cereals. I find it boring just having one. So I'll have like a nut-based one, with oats and stuff, and then I'll top it up with like Frosties or whatever. So I'm kind of bummed out that Frosties made the list.
I'm screaming and autistic about that.
You're surprised?
Mixing your foods, just
Cereals.
no, that's just not mixing your foods on. That's like my autism is upset right now.
They'll buy kids plates which have got they're all separated out so that food don't touch, because if they touch,
No, it's not happening.
yeah, that's the end of it.
Is that, well, I mean, when you have your meals, is that how you have yours, Laura?
everything would all be separated, and also I eat my food in a hierarchical order that I've internalized. Like, so I have I couldn't have, like, you know, like say I had chicken, I couldn't eat like chicken and then eat potatoes and then go back to chicken. I have to, like, I would eat the chicken and finish all of the chicken first before moving on to the next item.
That's what me and the boy do. We always do. I don't know, he must have picked it up from me, but I always eat my veg, all of it. Then I'll move on to the potatoes, all of it, and then I'll move on to the meat. And my boy, my autistic son, he does exactly the same. We go
my brother does it in order. His theory is that he wants to eat, like, save the best till last, whereas I want to eat the best first, so that if I get full up, then the thing that I like the least is kept to the end. I like that thinking. I do like that thinking. I think I always eat the veg first, because I think if I get too full, I'm gonna sort of, I don't need any excuses not to eat my veg, because I will take them. So I think, like, if I eat my veg first, it's in there. I know what's coming, and it's going to get better and better and better. So that's the way I do it. I'm assuming, Duncan, what do you do when you eat? How do you eat yours, or do you just kind of just mash it all up and throw it in?
It depends what I'm having, but I am a fan of things like I think the ultimate neurotypical food is probably like spaghetti bolognese and curry, because that is specifically all mixed together. Yeah. And I love both those things. I don't know. I don't have it's food, and I enjoy it, and I'll quite happily, you know, dip for a bit of chicken, and I'll even, you know, commit the cardinal sin, whereas I've got mashed potato and I've got a sausage. I'll dip the sausage in the mash. So yeah, I can see. You're making Laura cry. You sinner, you're going to die in hell.
Just crying and autistic.
I struggle with vegetables. I live by a theory. I believe God buried vegetables for a reason. He left all the animals walking around, all very visible, there to be eaten. He hid the vegetables, and man, in a simple way, went looking for them.
That's a good theory.
It is, apart from the ones that come out of the ground.
They come out of the ground because they're buried in the
ground. I mean, they come up and then they kind of... Are they vegetables like that? Tomatoes do that, don't they? They're a vegetable.
They're a fruit.
Oh, I fall for that one. I use that on everybody as well. I can't believe I just tripped up there. Is there any foods that you can't eat because of texture, Laura?
Oh, wait, how long do you have?
Well,
how long do you have?
But if it gets past like 45 minutes with this list, Duncan will just cut it all out.
So baked beans, I have a really, really extreme reaction to baked beans. I remember very distinctly at 4 years old sitting in my kitchen being given baked beans, and I think I tasted them, didn't like them, looked at them, and convinced myself that they were aliens.
6.5 hours later.
I have such a strong reaction to baked beans that when I was a student at university and worked in hospitality, I could never work on the breakfast shift because I can't pick up a plate that someone had baked beans on it and then take it into the kitchen to clear. In like staff rooms at work, if people have baked beans for their lunch, I have to leave the staff room. I can't look directly at them.
Many months later.
They've never been in my house. My son, I don't think, has ever had them. And if he has, they would be somewhere else. So baked beans, very, very strong reaction to. However, spaghetti hoops, totally fine. Tomato ketchup as well, that's another absolute no-no. Just the look of it makes me, even just thinking about it, that's just not at all.
One eternity later.
The other one would really be bananas. I don't mind banana flavour, like so when people have made banana loaf, I don't mind the flavour of the banana through it, but just the look of the banana, how it feels in your hand, the texture. I haven't had it since I was a child, but the texture of it just I find very unsettling. And similarly, avocados. I like guacamole. I don't mind avocado taste, but actual avocado itself, just the texture of it is really kind of
I'm actually really similar. The texture thing really affects me with food. I like the flavour of loads of vegetables.
Yeah.
I'll eat any soup under the sun because I love them.
Yep.
But I can't stand the texture of vegetables. It actually does make me gag with some veg. I just can't take it.
Sprouts. I can't do them. I can't eat them.
You know, sprouts have a chemical in them that only a percentage of the population can taste, and that makes them taste really bitter and horrible. So people who really hate sprouts are actually higher in the evolutionary scale because they're detecting something which could be harmful.
I just really discovered sprouts this year. I always just refused to eat them point blank, just absolutely refused to eat them. And during the first lockdown, when supermarkets kind of shelves were all empty, I started getting my vegetables delivered to me from like a farm supply sort of shop supplier, and I get these deliveries of, you know, like for £20 enough vegetables that would feed like a full family for a month sort of thing. And just before Christmas, they gave me a big bag of sprouts, and there was I couldn't give them away to my mum because of lockdowns or restrictions and things. So I thought, and I'm really anti throwing food out, so I found like a recipe which is basically kind of it's almost like making sprouts, but like in a cauliflower cheese type recipe, but there was like cream and there was bacon involved. And see, when you add bacon and lots of cream and butter to sprouts, totally tastes fine.
Bacon is the world's magic ingredient.
It honestly, add bacon
and it improves.
Yeah, add bacon to sprouts, and they add with loads of cream, and like kind of just make it like you would make cauliflower cheese, and it tasted amazing. I would actually even buy sprouts now just to make that.
I had a maple syrup and bacon ice cream, and
that sounds actually nice.
It was incredible because the bacon is kind of salty and yeah.
Well, you get salted caramel and stuff, don't you? So I'm assuming it'd be a similar sort of thing. The one thing that really gets me, another thing that makes me gag, I can't actually eat it, is like a fatty meat or meat with like veins in, like a turkey or chicken. I physically can't eat it. If I taste it in my mouth or I feel it in my mouth, like a ham that's got like that white strip of fat, I'll spit it out furiously. I can't deal with it. What about you guys? Well, Duncan, what do you not like or can't eat?
Well, like I say, vegetables I really struggle with because I do find the texture really difficult. But I find my way around that is that, like I say, soups and stuff like that, where you can pack those in. And I love things like bolognese and curries because you can again put loads of bits and pieces in there, and it's all sort of disguised, and I quite enjoy it that way. I like root vegetables and stuff like that. I really enjoy them. But there's something about the texture of a lot of veg that really and it actually genuinely kicks that gag reflex in. I really struggle. But
what, too soft or like crunchy, or what's the texture? Because my mum used to cook it for so long that it would be like mush.
Yeah.
Resembling a carrot, but it's just like mush.
Yeah, crunch is better. A bit of crunch to it.
Exactly. That's how veg should be, shouldn't it? It should have a crunch. Now, this has been cooking for 3 hours in a pot, which means it's basically like 95% water. All the nutrients are gone. It's just slime at this point.
And when there's no seasoning to it as well, like the typical kind of school dinner type, because they're not allowed to put too much salt on things. So it's just the vegetables that have been in water, that kind of bland taste that you can get when it's been overcooked. Yeah. Jamie
Oliver come into the rescue with that one, I think. Laura, January 30.
Yes.
Is that a special date for you?
It's a very special date. It's January 30th is the launch of Teacher Hug Radio, which you can find on teacherhug.co.uk. It's a new commercial radio station that has been launched by a man called Paul Dix. Teachers around Britain will be familiar with Paul Dix because he wrote probably like the all-time best-selling teacher book ever, which is called When the Adults Change, Everything Changes, it's like a kind of a relationships approach based sort of behavioural approach. Kind of ban the booths, ban isolation, treat children with respect, that kind of sort of thing. But he's been really, really influential, and he also used to run the Pivotal podcast, which a lot of people might be familiar with, and also his the other person involved in the project is Kevin Mulrine, who's worked in radio and also the Pivotal podcast before. And I will have my own show on Saturdays at 1 p.m. called Representation Matters, where I interview people who are from, sports, the media, the arts, politicians, different professionals, activists and things, and it's kind of about their life and their work and their achievements, but they all have disability in common. And the aim behind that really is to increase the representation of disabled voices.
Wow.
Because disabled people often, when we are asked to speak about things, we are asked to speak about our disability, and a lot of us have other achievements alongside our disabilities, and we're not just kind of very one-dimensional. So it's really to give them a chance to talk about their achievements and everything that they've got going on, and also with a kind of a nod to what representation to them means, having other disabled people from their field talking. I'm obviously a teacher, having other autistic teachers and knowing that there's other autistic teachers out there was really important to me. And again, another kind of hope is that the mainly teacher audience who will be listening, because it's a kind of teacher-based radio station, hopefully they will then realise that the disabled children in their class can go on and achieve all of the other things that all of the other children in the class can go on and achieve as well, and hopefully kind of give them a subconscious message not to lowball the SEND children in their class. January the 30th, and then there's a 2-week break just afterwards. That's the launch weekend, and then it'll be on every Saturday from February the 20th.
Is that internet based?
It is internet based. At the moment, it's just going to be on at the weekends.
Yeah.
There's programming all through the weekends, and then as time moves on, there might be, I think, repeats actually during the week. But then as time moves on and the programming is increased, there'll be more going on during the week as well.
Is this your first stint on radio then?
My first stint presenting. I've done a lot of being the guest. I've been the guest on mainly BBC Radio Scotland. I've talked, one of the journalists there, Fiona Stalker, is really interested in highlighting the profile of, issues around autism. And I was on quite a lot during the summer, talking about different issues relating to autism in lockdown, and going back to school for autistic children. So I've been a guest a number of times, but this will be the first time presenting.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm more excited. I don't really get nervous. I also have ADHD, and I kind of have a bit of a carpe diem attitude. I just kind of charge into things, and then it's afterwards I look back and I think, oh, I should have maybe been nervous about that, or But no, I just kind of as soon as what I think is a good idea is presented, I'm like, amazing, let's do it. We've got Liz Wright on, who you know very well, obviously. So we've got Liz. She's my first guest, so I'm not nervous about that. It's going to be that's going to be great.
She's fantastic and just an inspiration. So yeah, she's a great. Everyone definitely tune in for that because she's fantastic.
Talking of great ideas, Laura, SEND UK.
Yes.
How is that coming along?
It's good. We're kind of just, I suppose, collecting things in the background. We decided originally that we realised that it was going to be, we would view it as more of a marathon rather than a race, because if you try to do things too quickly and give yourself unrealistic deadlines, and you maybe don't meet them, then it puts people off. We have a website, which is senduk.org, and obviously we have a Twitter account, which is senduk.org, and the aim is to collect our knowledge from over the years that people have gained through their experience of through the system, the school system, the social work system, the benefits system, and put it all in the one place, so that parents who are just with younger children or just embarking on their journey then have one place where they can go and they can find out some information from other people that was useful to them.
It's fantastic. I actually, you may not be aware, I did on my other channel, my PDA Dad UK channel, I did a thing today on what to do once you got diagnosis, and I gave you guys a shout out on that about the site, because I put it on my group on Facebook as well, because I think it's a fantastic idea, and it's just so good that there's a place someone can go and find out all the details.
We
Brilliant.
were over the moon when Kirsty first told us about it on the podcast, because we didn't even know that she was going to announce it, did we, Duncan? It was completely out of the blue. And then she started, she basically mirrored what you said in slightly finer, well, not finer detail, but in a broader sense. And we were buzzing, weren't we, when we heard about it?
So I had been working on a thing that was all about disabled or transportation for disabled people, and it's not as relevant just now because a lot of people can't fly. But I had been investigating all of the sort of arrangements at airports in the UK, and had been in contact with every UK airport before to see what arrangements they have. So we were looking at kind of sort of all the arrangements for transport and things like blue badges and disabled bus passes. Because, for example, I can't drive due to ADHD related reasons, but I have a disabled bus pass, and I know that it's easier for me to get a disabled bus pass in Scotland than it is for some people in England who have invisible disabilities. So just putting up different information about what forms you have to fill in and who you have to, and where you go to get them, and then also benefits information and the different types of benefits that people are entitled to, whether they're parents and it's caring allowance, and information about where to go to get help when filling out DLA applications and other things. Then for disabled adults as well, like access to work benefits. So the education section will be a lot bigger.
I love that there's the thing on there as well for, I don't know if it's on there yet, but I know it's Kirsty mentioned it was looking at sort of fun destinations, and the options are there for send kids and stuff like that to be able to join in, and you know, what sort of offers are there as well.
I've been in contact with a lot of cinemas and theatres and different things to try and to find out what they offer, and they're sort of sending me information. So there'll obviously be more localised things, but so we're trying to do a more like big chains and more national types of things at first, and then before we sort of break down into what goes on in different local areas.
It's odd now that it's here, you're kind of thinking, well, why did nobody do it?
Why did it take so long for this to happen? Right, somebody come up with it.
It was like Adam just made it, and it was one of those things where I'm glad that I was online and on Twitter at the time when Adam made this post. I don't even think it was the main point that he made on Twitter. It was just something he maybe contributed in a thread where he said, I wish that there was something out there like this where I could just put all of the things that I've learned over the years together in the one place. And another person that's involved is a friend of mine called Ross Pollard, and Ross and I have been trying to do something like this for a couple of years already, from the point of view of we're both disabled adults. And as soon as Adam said that, I thought, actually, maybe let's seize the day, kind of, yeah, it's a good idea, let's do it. We want more, the more people, sort of the merrier. We're not like an exclusive group of just a few of us. We're looking for contributions from anyone, and because we recognise lots of people have jobs or family responsibilities or studying and whatever. We don't have a sort of set time required from people. It's just what they can contribute and when. By the time it's a year old, then we'll have a lot more on it than we do now. And then by the time it's 2 years old, it'll be much further expanded. So it's a long-term project.
Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. That's all we've got for this week. I want to thank, as always, Chris.
Thank you, mate. And a big, big thank you to the amazing, yes, I'm going to say it, amazing Laura McConnell. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Thank you for having me. Lots of fun.
It's been an absolute pleasure. All of the links to send.org and the stuff that Laura's been talking about, links to the radio station that she's starting up, all that will be in the description, so please do check it out. We'd love to hear your opinions on anything that we've spoken about in this episode. Please do hit it in the comments.
And the shout out as well. Any comments, and we'll give you a shout out next week as well.
Absolutely. So please do like this. Please do share it. Please do subscribe. It makes a huge difference. Stay safe, everyone. We love you all, and we'll see you next time.